Hey everybody and welcome back to Jay's Retro Reactions. Sorry I've been absent for a little while, but we're getting right back into Mr. In Between. I had to do some personal stuff that I needed to sort out, nothing serious, I just need to focus on it for a while, so that's why I've been out of the reaction game for a couple of months. But yeah, now I'm going to be doing weekly releases of Mr. In Between and Buck Rogers until we get that completed, and then I'm going to be releasing my Band of Brothers reactions, which are available now on Patreon, and then Battlestar Galactica, both the original series and the modern series. So that's the plan, guys. This episode today is season 2, episode 6 of Mr. In Between. The last episode we seen that Ali had just broke up with Ray, which is really unfortunate because she was really good for Ray in my opinion. I think he knows that and he looked really disappointed when it didn't work out. So I'm excited to see where this goes. As I said, I have seen this show before, but it's been a while, so I don't really remember. I remember the ending very well, and we'll get to that part because the ending was just outstanding. But I don't really remember much about this in-between stuff. So that's about it, guys. As I always say, enough of me talking, and let's get on with the show. So here we see the aftermath. He's just dumping all Ali's stuff into the bin out of his medicine cabinet. That process of saying goodbye to her. Yeah, photo's gonna go too, naturally. I really feel bad for Ray, as I said. Ali was just so good for him. It gave him a purpose on top of Brit, and he only sees Brit at weekends, and probably every other weekend as well. Bruce is dying, he's not going to be around much longer.
Yeah, I started the hostility log thing this week.
How's that working out?
Are you good? Yeah.
So he's still going to the support group, but I'm sure his court-mandated sessions for punching that guy way back in season 1 must be over now, so maybe he finds some good from it, despite his hostility towards it.
Is there anything you want to talk about?
Nah, I'm good.
Are you sure? Nothing at all?
So is Ray going to tell the truth here and open up about Ali, or is he going to do his usual stuff and goad the counsellor? Which I do enjoy.
Beat my girlfriend's brother up. My daughter got this unicorn candle. Your girlfriend's brother decided he wanted it.
In fairness, the brother was a dick, as I said in my last reaction. He deserved it.
So you assaulted him?
Well, he's been a dickhead, so no.
So you assaulted him?
Pretty much.
That's what you do with dickheads. In fairness, what else do you do with them? Tolerate them and let them continue on?
And how did your girlfriend feel about this?
Well, she's not my girlfriend anymore, so...
Yeah, there's your answer, counsellor, mate. She's not his girlfriend anymore. That's how she felt about it. Hearing the story a second time doesn't make it sound any better on the brother. He definitely was a dick.
Can you see how violence is perhaps not the best way for you to resolve your disputes?
In fairness, the counsellor is making a good, genuine point here, that violence is bringing nothing but destruction to Ray's life, but in fairness to Ray, as a sociopath, he doesn't know any other way to operate or work in the world.
No, I think it generally is. But, just don't do it in front of your girlfriend,
So that's the lesson Ray took. Continue to beat up dickheads, just don't do it in front of your girlfriend. Maybe wise advice.
Can you give me one example of violence ever working?
That's a really shit question by the counsellor, because just wars are obvious examples, and there's loads of other situations. Someone's raping your wife, someone's breaking into your house, someone's attempting to abduct your kids. Like, you could go on and on.
World War Two?
World War II.
Mm-hmm. We didn't beat the Nazis just by talking to them. We used violence.
There you go, counsellor. Answer that one. 100% Ray.
Making excuses, but I don't think you can say that all violence is bad. I think there's good violence and bad violence.
And again, I find myself agreeing with Ray here. He has a point. There is such a thing as necessary violence rather than good violence. I do agree there's no such thing as good violence. And we spoke about that in Monsters and loads of other episodes involving Ray.
What's good violence?
World War II.
Thanks, Vince.
Again, this counsellor's a dick. Ray's given a good example. I've given good examples. Come on, man. You must be cleverer than this.
Alright, maybe it's about time. Maybe we should leave it there. Thank you, everyone.
And the counsellor slyly pulling himself away out of that big hole he dug for himself where he couldn't answer the question.
German forces had already moved in and now occupied the Abbey ruins in force.
And just like we've seen at the very beginning back in season 1, Ray's back to his lonely self, stuck in the house on his own and with his dog. Sad life he's gone back to.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Ray going to end up with one of the strippers at the club now? Freddy's club? Everyone can see Ray is down. The strippers can see it, the counsellor could see it. Yeah, it's really affecting him, despite him trying not to show it. I feel really bad for Ray because I feel like if you met him in real life, well, definitely for me, he could be a guy you would be friends with. I doubt you could ever get close to Ray because I think he would keep that distance. But he'd be like one of those guys you meet, you know, who's a friend, you meet up for a night out, you'll have a great laugh with him. He's witty, he's intelligent, he's funny. You may not have a deep personal connection, but you know, as someone whose company you enjoy being around. There's just a feeling of emptiness and loneliness and darkness and depression about this episode from the start. It's really well directed.
Hello? Ray, it's Vinny.
Vinny, this is the guy he was supposed to clip from the last episode. He got paid the 100 grand with 50 up front.
How you going, mate?
Oh, you know,
Same old shit in here, mate. But listen, I thought I'd check in and see if you want to
catch up for a beer sometime.
If I was Ray, I'd be thinking, has Vinny found out that I was hired to kill him? And he's setting me up here to be killed myself?
What about next weekend?
No, I've got to go see my folks.
We've got a farm up there in Dorrigo, so yeah, I'll be away all weekend.
Interesting. So Vinny has just told Ray that he's going to be up at his parents' farm, exactly where the farm is, and he's probably not going to have all his crew around with them. Perfect place for a hit job, no? And one thing I have learned from this, going back to what I said earlier, I think I could have been friends with Ray if he was a real character in real life, is I wouldn't want to lose touch with him because Vinny did, and now Ray's going to kill him.
You're just going to leave that there, are you, love? Where your dog just took a shit, are you going to clean it up, or
So?
you're just going to leave it with somebody else to stand in, are you?
Again, kind of Ray being the voice of social justice there, because they are really annoying, those people who have dogs and don't pick up after them. Don't have a dog then, you don't deserve one.
Well, if it bothers you so much, why don't you pick it up?
Why don't you fucking pick it up?
And again, Ray shows that kind of split character he is. He's concerned about someone else stepping in the dog shit, but he's planning to murder someone at the same time, so...
She says to me, who have you had the best sex of your life with? And I'm lying there thinking, how do I answer this?
There's only one way you can answer that, Freddie. Her, who's lying beside you.
I can't tell her the best sex I ever had was with some 52-year-old hooker in an alley.
Yeah. Interesting choice, Freddie, of your best sex partner.
You! But because I took a second to answer, she's like, why'd you have to think about it?
It's because I had to make sure by checking off very few partners I've had in my life that you were definitely the best one, and after thinking about it, the answer is you. Problem solved.
I said, I don't know, the question kind of took me by surprise.
Wrong answer, Freddie.
I tell you, mate, women can ask questions that scare the shit out of you.
Ray's probably thinking, you think there are problems, Freddie? Once you lose her, you'll know problems.
So who is this dude anyway?
Simon Gillespie. You know the Gillespies.
The mining family?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So Freddie's got another job for Ray. What's this, another hit job or an enforcement job? Collection of money job?
G'day, mate. Well, there's a familiar face. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you too.
Right, looking at this guy, he looks like a cock, straight from the off. Just my first impression.
It's been way too long. Simon, this is Ray.
Hi, Ray. How you going, mate?
Subtle little exertion of dominance there by Ray, refusing to shake his hand and stand up, saying, I'm the one in control here.
I was seeing this young lady for about a year or so. I stopped seeing her a few weeks ago, and now she's threatening to tell my wife.
Don't stick your dick in crazy. And if you are stupid enough to have an affair, at least be clever about it and choose the right mistress.
How much is she asking for?
$2 million. And I told her I don't have that kind of money. She won't listen to reason.
And what do you expect? She probably used you, she was young, she used you for a quick buck, and now she's exploiting that. You fell for it. You're a fool.
Right? And she also said she's going to go to the press and tell them all sorts of shit about me, and none of that's true. Okay? 'Cause
Yeah, I bet you he likes to be tied up and takes it up the arse or something.
So, what do you want me to do, man?
well, you know.
So this guy's going to want her whacked just for that? And surely it'd be easier just to tell Ray to threaten her.
No, I don't.
Well, I want you to take care of her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he wants her whacked and Ray wants him to say it.
What you reckon?
Yeah, I'll have a think about it.
Have a think about it.
A few days.
Yeah, a couple of days.
Oh, great.
I don't think Ray will take this job. Maybe I'm wrong, but I would have thought Ray's moral character would prevent him from whacking a young, innocent girl.
Now this one here, I've got a bet each way. Is that?
That's Ray's mate, I remember from the last episode, who recently got divorced and was unemployed, who had a daughter around Brit's age, so Ray must have hooked him up with a job at the club. Fair play, Ray.
It's not really my job.
You're not going to jump up? What if we pay extra?
No, I'm not into it. You can't pay me enough. I'm going to get you with some water.
Ray definitely has his eye on this waitress girl. Ray probably wanted that little bit of action, make him feel better.
Pretty handy with that tray.
And of course now he looks like a hero to the girl, which if he is interested in her, will only do him good.
Mayweather said that Duran was his number 2 on his all-time list.
Who was his number 1?
Mayweather.
Typical boxer with that arrogance. I often wonder, is it just front or do they actually believe it? And I think some of them actually do believe this sort of stuff. In fairness to Mayweather, he was a great boxer.
Oh, fuck, what a wagger.
He had 27 KOs, over 5 weight classes.
Yeah.
In fairness, that's an impressive record. The last fight I remember, of course, is him fighting Conor McGregor. When Conor McGregor stepped up to boxing, of course he was going to lose against Mayweather.
What are you on?
$35 an hour, I think.
And what else are you on?
Just a bit of goey.
I presume Goey is crystal meth. Let me know if I'm wrong, guys.
Mate, fucking get off it.
What are you, the boss of me now, mate?
Well, he kind of is, mate. He put his neck on the line to recommend you for a job, so don't screw him over.
Well, you know, don't make me look bad, alright?
Why?
I did that once to vouch for a friend, and I promised never again, because friends, I've learned 2 things in life: don't make good housemates, and definitely a lot of friends will let you down if you recommend them from jobs. I did it this once and never again. I presume this is the young girl that's blackmailing the rich guy? She looks Filipino. My wife's Filipino. Similar look.
What? I'm not trying to blackmail him.
So why is he saying that you are then?
Oh.
Is she just looking for child support and the guy's too much of a wanker to pay it?
He said you're asking for $2 million to keep your mouth shut.
I asked him for $1,000 a month.
So this rich guy worked out the cost of $1,000 a month, which is 12 grand a year over what, 20 years, which is what, 240 grand, and he inflated that up to 2 million so Ray would do the hit job. Is this the rich guy's garage? Is Ray come to pay him a little visit?
How'd you know where I live?
Hey, listen, I had to talk to Fiona and I got it down to 250 grand.
250 grand, which is the 240k I worked out earlier. Fair play, Ray. He's just demanding he pays his due.
You can afford 250, yeah?
Yeah, look, listen,
Don't tell me this wanker's gonna refuse that offer. He is too, isn't he?
I think you should pay the money, mate.
Why would I want to do that?
Because I know she's pregnant.
Pay the money, mate. You definitely won't want Ray coming back to you. You will not enjoy that.
She's batshit crazy.
Let me stop you there, mate, okay? Pay the money, 48 hours, okay?
You won't end up living for much longer if you don't.
What happens if I don't?
You really want to find out? Alright.
Something tells me this guy won't pay, and Ray's gonna come back and visit him and end it. Although if he ends it, the girl won't get any money at all, which again would go against Ray's code.
Alice wants to know what's taking so long.
His parents have got a farm. He's going up there this weekend, so I'm going to try to get him there, so...
I knew he'd go for him at the farm. It makes sense.
Just get it done.
That look Ray gave there, to me, says that he didn't like these guys questioning his methods, that they don't trust him as a professional, which I think, knowing Ray, he would find very discourteous and disrespectful, again going against that code he has, which may not work out well for those guys. Uh-oh. Has he run into Ali at the late night shopping store? Now, I know she gave him a smile there, and that's her being friendly, but men would interpret that differently. We would see that as, she still cares. Maybe I still have a chance. And I think maybe that's what Ray's going to think. Told you, Ali has no interest. She was just being friendly. And as I said, women and men react differently in those situations, and unless you've gone through it, you probably would read those signals wrong. But at least he knows now there's definitely no chance. There's no chance she wants to talk to him. There's no chance of getting back. So maybe, as harsh as it is, that's the finality he needs to move on. Yeah, he's angry and he's hurt, and he's going to go to where they scratched their name into the tree when Ali was asking him the questions like, if I became disabled, would you look after me, etc, etc. He ain't scratching it out, he's chopping down the whole friggin' tree, man. Of course, this is Ray, so his violence is always an extra level above most people's. Welcome back, guys. That's the end of Season 2, Episode 6. And it was a very subdued episode. If you came across this series and just pick that episode out on its own, you go, my god, the show is boring. Nothing to it. It's just a guy walking around empty, lonely, dark. But knowing Ray, because we've started this journey with him way back in Season 1 and gone through his life developments, we can see he was very lonely. He met Ali. She became very important to him very quickly. He became involved with his daughter and his family. Everyone loved her. He screwed up by beating up the brother. Brother totally deserved it. I still stand by that. Because of what he did to Britt. Like, what sort of dickhead does that? But we can see that this has had a huge impact on Ray. And the whole episode was just about emptiness, darkness, loneliness. I mentioned it already. The forest, the park, his apartment. Everything was just alone and dark. And that's why I think it was wonderfully directed, wonderfully shot, wonderfully scripted, because it really portrayed that sense of emptiness and loneliness that Ray is going through. And we did see still glimpses that he still has his moral character, you know, the dog shit in the park, a bit of social justice there from Ray, with refusing to do anything to the pregnant woman and actually instead reversing roles and becoming her defender and demanding the rich wanker pay up the child support. And of course, still about the business, even though Vinny called him as a mate, he's planning, you're going to your parents' farm, so I'm going to whack you. So we'll probably see that develop now that the guys who paid him to do the job are kind of on his back about why is it taking so long. So maybe episode 8, 9 should see the climax of that story. Maybe it's the season finale. In fact, I think it is. It's something got to do with the season finale, if I remember correctly. The incident with Ali in the store was, interesting. Just those differences between the way men and women interpret signals. And we all have to learn this usually when we're young. But, you know, women tend to smile and be outgoing towards an ex-partner. That's their way of dealing with the awkwardness. And men then interpret that as, she's still into me. Usually, I'm just speaking generally. I know everyone's different. But as a general concept, that's how it goes. I've seen it too often. I've seen it with myself when I was young. And I've seen it with many, many friends over the years. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, on the episode. What you felt about it. And, you know, how you thought it was shot and how you thought it portrayed that emptiness and loneliness that Ray's going through. Let me know what you think he'll do to the rich banker. Let me know what you think he'll do with Vinny, his mate. Will he do the job or will he turn on the two guys? And any other thoughts you have. Will you get back with Ali, or like I think that relationship is doomed? And do you agree with me that women and guys definitely interpret those awkward moments when you meet after a breakup very differently? So you have to be very careful how you interact with someone like that at that point. As I was saying, guys, I will be releasing episodes weekly from now on. So if you like the reactions, please subscribe. Please like the video, please share the video, it helps a lot. I know everyone says it, but it really does help a lot. If you want to watch my full-length reaction, the link to my Patreon is below. You can get a 7-day free trial, you can get access to my exclusive reactions such as Band of Brothers, and you'll get access to the videos from my 2 other channels as well, which is JT's True Crimes and Unexplained Mysteries, deals with the paranormal and extraordinary true crimes, and the Catholic Vine, which is a Christian focused channel if you're into that. Some upcoming releases you might want to know about: I'll be releasing my reaction to The Cube, a fantastic science fiction movie. I'd seen it 25 years ago or so, and I'd forgotten most of it. What I found doing the second reaction was it had a lot more depth to the script than I remember, and actually talks very heavily about social justice, political justice, religious views versus atheist views, all hidden under the subtext of these people trying to escape a murderous maze in a cube. As well as that, in the future I'm planning to do both the original Battlestar Galactica and the new version. Some other movies I'm looking at are Scum, Nil by Mouth, Kidulthood, Adulthood. I also have a few Aussie movies that I want to get to and a few Polish movies. As you'll notice, I don't tend to do the Hollywood stuff. There's plenty of reactors doing that if you want to go and see it. I do have to comment a lot. Unfortunately, I'm not in the same position as US-based reactors. In the EU, we have very, very strict laws, and they're really enforced on YouTube, about extensive commentary required to upload generally copyrighted material. It's not me liking the sound of my own voice. Believe me, it gets tiring have to come up with so much commentary, and I know some of it is inane sometimes, but I can't even get the video up, right? It'll be taken down straight away unless I do that. So you can't compare me to US reactors. I'm in a different jurisdiction legally. And secondly, there's only one other EU-based reactor I personally know of. Not personally know her, but Movies with Mary, or, you know, the Dutch girl. Can't remember her channel name, but shout out to her, she's actually quite good. But yeah, we're the only two, and there's a reason for that, because Europe is quite large, right? It's these ridiculously strict copyright laws, and fair usage for us is far more limited than for our US colleagues. So just bear that in mind. If you can't cope with it, fine, there's no need to get nasty in the comments. Just piss off to another channel. I don't give a fuck, man, right? I don't know you, you don't matter to me, I don't matter to you. Move on and stop being a psycho that thinks you have to voice your opinion, because I don't read it and you'll be banned, so whatever. In saying that, if you do enjoy the channel, you can disagree with me, that's fine, I've no issue with that. If you're talking about the video and the context of it, that's fine. If you're talking about the episode or the movie and the context of it, that's fine. But yeah, I don't want to hear you talk too much. I can't fucking help it. So get that through your thick brain. Oh, but other reactors, yeah, different jurisdictions. Like, I can't believe the idiocy of so many people out there. I wouldn't mind, in most videos, I pin it in the comments. And they don't even read it, and then go on to complain about what's explained to them there. Anyway, enough of me ranting. Anyways, I will say that's enough from me now. God bless you, God bless your families, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next week for episode 8. God bless. Bye.